Okay, I think we will get started. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us in this webinar. My name is Nisha Ray. I am a Customer Success Manager here at Signeasy. Just a reminder, this webinar will cover the basics of using Signeasy on your iPhone or iPad. So this will be really helpful for those that have either recently signed up or have had Signeasy for a while now, but never really fully grasped how to use it.
So I'll quickly go over the agenda so that everybody has an idea of what will be covered in this webinar. We don't expect this webinar to go over an hour, including the Q&A and everything involved. So we're hoping to keep it very efficient. We'll start with an overview of the iOS app in general and how to navigate through it. From there, we'll follow a self-signing workflow where we'll show you how to sign a document yourself if you've received it over email or if it's in your cloud storage. After that, we're going to show a workflow that's called in-person signing. This workflow is intended when you are physically in person with multiple people who need to all sign together. Maybe you're passing the iPad around, or perhaps you are receiving someone at your place of business and you need them to sign a waiver or a sign-in form. They can sign in person. And then finally, we'll end on the requesting a signature workflow. This is where you need to actually send a document to a remote party over email and request them to sign a document using Signeasy. And then finally, we will have a Q&A session at the very end. However, Nisha and I are hoping that this is going to be a very interactive session, so you don't need to hold your questions until the end. As we go along, if any questions pop into your mind, just please place them in that Q&A box, and Nisha and I will make sure to make time at every juncture to address any questions. All right, so I think we will just hop right into it.
Perfect. Thanks for that, Monica. And while we get started, just a side note, you can easily download the Signeasy app by going to the Apple App Store and searching for Signeasy. Once you download the app, just log into your Signeasy account. It's the same email and password you've been using to log into your web app or now on your phone. So before we get into how to sign a document using the app, I want to take a moment to go over the interface so that you can become familiar with it and know exactly where to go to find things. So we will launch the Signeasy app. It's at the bottom right corner. At the top left, you see the plus icon, which allows you to import documents to Signeasy. Now, there are several different ways to import with our handy in-app document scanner option. You can take a picture of your physical document and Signeasy will automatically render a usable PDF. This way, you don't have to use any third-party document scanner tools that you may be using currently. Other ways you can bring a document to Signeasy include email, photos, files, and some of the other major cloud storage options out there like Dropbox, Google Drive, and OneDrive. Going back to the main app dashboard, at the bottom left under documents, you'll be able to see any document which are in pending, draft, or signed state. In pending, you can see if a document is waiting on you or someone else for signature. And in draft is just any document that you have started, but you've just scratched a few things on it. And in the signed state are your documents that have been signed, where if you tap on one of them, you have the option to share the signed document with someone either via email, or you can send it to cloud, or you can open it in a different app. Next, if we go to the My Library tab, you can find any documents you have previously imported, as well as access any templates you might have created. Finally, in the Account tab, you can manage your settings. If you go to your profile, you can edit your saved personal details like your name, initials, signature, and even password at the bottom. So for signature, you may add it by either drawing, importing, or scanning it. With the import option, you can upload a picture, or with the scan feature, you can actually scan your handwritten signature using your iPhone camera, just like this in the Signeasy app, and Signeasy will basically capture just the outline of your signature. As we see here, it's pretty cool. If you go back to Account, under current plan, you can see which Signeasy subscription you're on and when it will expire. And you can also set up extra security for your Signeasy app with our Face ID and passcode feature. This is just a second layer of security that you can have to enter your Signeasy app or when you're signing a document. So in case your phone ever gets lost or stolen, random people aren't signing confidential documents on your behalf. Signeasy also integrates with several cloud storage options. documents like Dropbox, Box, Google Drive, Evernote, and OneDrive. So to set one, you just turn the toggle on, and there it will just ask you to log in and give permission to Signeasy to access your cloud. With our contacts option, you can import any of your Google, Outlook, or phone contacts into Signeasy so that you have all your contacts right where you need them. In going back in default format, you can actually change the formats of the ink color, text, and date to your liking. There are several different date formats we support. Lastly, under advanced feature, you can turn on email me a copy or forward me a copy. With forward me a copy, this is just an email you put in where anytime you sign a document, a copy of that signed document automatically gets forwarded to this email that you have put in place. Another thing we have is you can customize an email footer, so you can add custom information to be included in the emails of your signed documents that you send out using Signeasy. Now, finally, going back under the help section, within the app, you can access several resources from video tutorials to FAQs to contacting our support when you need help, or even sending in a feature request. We're all ears. So that basically covers it for the app interface. We will take a couple of seconds to see if any questions might have come in. So now we can get into checking out the different workflows Signeasy supports on the mobile app, beginning with signing a document yourself. So first, you need to choose which document you want to sign. You can import a new document using that plus icon, or you can go to My Library and choose a document from your imports and template list. For most of us, when we are on the go, we usually get a document sent to us in an email to sign. So I'm going to show you how to sign a document if you get it sent to your email and you don't have your computer with you. So just go to your email and open up your document that you want to sign. Simply tap Share at the top right corner. So here we'll be signing a standard non-disclosure agreement. So to sign the document by yourself, you can do Sign with Signeasy. And then basically what it will do is it will open up your document and there will be annotations that you can use to fill out the document. So right here at the bottom, we will use those annotations to fill out the document. So here we will just, place a signature by using the signature annotation. For date, we will choose the date annotation. You can resize using the corners. And then for title, we will just use a text annotation, and you can use your keyboard to type whatever you need to type and just tap done. So once you are done filling out the document, you can simply tap the blue check mark at the top right corner and hit complete signing. From here, you can choose to either share the document by either emailing it to someone, or you can open it with another app. If you don't want to make any moves at this particular moment, you can just close it out and know that a copy of your document that you just signed is automatically saved into your Signeasy account so that you can always go back to it whenever you need it. Perfect. So that mostly covers it up for how to sign a document yourself. I am going to hand it over to Monica, and she will go over in-person signing.
So we'll just continue right along with the next phase, which is going to be covering our in-person signing workflow, as well as our requesting a signature workflow. So as Nisha mentioned, I'm just going to be launching the app on my iPad. All of your information syncs across all devices. So whether you're logging in on any device or even on a laptop or an Android, as long as you're logging in with the same email and password, you'll have access to all of the same documents stored in your account in real time. So again, the main difference between the iPhone and the iPad app is that the iPad app will include a larger document preview on the right-hand side, like this. And then it will include the various tabs in a smaller section on the left-hand side. So for this example, I'm going to go through in-person signing. So let's say there's a document, perhaps there's a sales agreement that needs to be signed by two parties together in person, myself as the seller, and then maybe my buyer who is with me. A couple of options: if I have already preloaded this document into Signeasy, then it will live under my library and my imports will be right there, that I can always pull them up for reuse over and over again. If I want to import it using the top right plus sign, I can again go through the sources of import. And so just to recap it again, in case anyone missed it, we're going to go through the process of importing a document that you may have received over email, as that seems to be the most common one. So again, I'm going to go back into my email. I'm using the Mail app, but you can choose any mail app that you're using, whether that's Gmail or Outlook. This time I'm going to tap on my sales agreement document. This is a document that requires signature by 2 parties. And then I'm going to tap on the top right share icon, and I'm going to tap where it says copy to Signeasy. So just a quick point of clarification, your iOS device will give you 2 options. One is sign with Signeasy, the other is copy to Signeasy. Sign with Signeasy only supports the workflow where you need to sign something yourself, as Nisha demoed before. So I'm not going to do sign with Signeasy because I have other parties I need to sign. I'm going to instead click on copy to Signeasy. Copy to Signeasy, all it does is brings a copy of this document directly into my Signeasy app. So go ahead and tap on copy to Signeasy. As you can see, in a few seconds, it's just taking that document from my email right into the Signeasy app. It automatically switches apps for you. And it'll begin to import this document. There it is. It looks exactly like it does in my email, and it will give me a few options to take an action on it right now. I'll tap on that big blue sign button on the bottom. And again, every document on your iOS device supports all of our workflows, but right now I'm showing what in-person signing looks like. So I will tap on the second option, which says sign in person. A couple of options to start signing here. I need to sign first before I hand over the iPad to my customer. So I have access to the annotations tool on the right-hand side. I'll tap on signature, and then I'll tap on my signature. Since I have previously scanned my signature, it's saved for constant reuse. So all I have to do is save my signature once, and it'll be saved forever. For seller name, I'm actually going to type my own name. And again, place that right here. And then for the date, it will auto-populate today's date. Now I'm all done with my part, and now I need to hand the iPad over to my buyer in person. The buyer will also have access to this annotations tool. They'll tap on signature, but this time they're going to tap on second person signature. Just a point of clarification here, whenever you're physically in person with others, we support virtually unlimited number of signers. So the second person will need to tap on second person signature, the third person will need to tap on third person signature, and you can continue along with add more signatures. When I tap on second person signature, as you notice, it doesn't save a signature. It actually brings canvas and allows my client to input their signature. Let's say their name is John. The reason why this is important is because we do not store anybody else's signature except for your own. So tapping on second person signature allows John to do a one-time placement of his signature, but we will not save that signature in the Signeasy app after the session is over in order to be secure and legally compliant for your guests and for your customers. John will then type his name, just as a quick example, and then also same with the date. Okay, so this looks all good. I got it signed by all parties in person. This was a very quick option for me because I didn't have to wait until later to send the contract to my client over email. There was no delay. We were able to get the deal closed and complete the sale in person in a very compliant manner. So I'm going to click on that check mark to complete this, complete signing. And I can take another look at the document here to make sure that it looks good. And with all other documents that are stored in Signeasy, you always have the option with the share icon in the top right to email it out to anyone who needs to receive a copy. Maybe your customer needs to receive a copy right on the spot. You can actually type their email here, or you can immediately import it into your cloud storage for a second backup. So I'm going to take a second here to pause as well, if there's any questions on in-person signing. Okay, Anisha, I guess we're doing a very good job. I'm not seeing a lot of new questions coming in. Great. So one thing that I do want to touch on here, which is a slightly more advanced workflow, also related to in-person signing. Oh, we did receive a question in the chat. I received a question from Rosa, which says, once they sign, do they automatically receive a copy or do you need to email it? So once they finish signing, you have the option right here to email it to them. However, they will not receive a copy immediately because we don't know what their email is during in-person signing. So the only way that that can be done is if you click on share and you email it out to them. However, you as the Signeasy user will have received a copy to your email if you have that email me a copy turned on in your settings. There is one exception to this rule, which is related to in-person signing using a template. And that's what I'm going to showcase right now. So as Nisha mentioned, in your library, you have imports and you have templates. Templates are documents that you are reusing over and over again and that you've created into a library of templates on your computer. So templates can be created only from the web. They cannot be created on a mobile device. However, once they are created, they can be used on mobile and stored here forever. So in this case, I have a template that I created on web. And the reason why this is a very handy template is because I've created it where the fields are always saved in those spots. The signature field, the date field, and the title field are always going to be saved there and highlighted. So if I want to use this template for in-person signing, I can tap on sign in person. And in this specific example with templates, you'll be able to put the client's information up front. So the signer's information can be placed up front. And once you place the client's information up front, they can proceed to sign the document. So the templates flow is slightly different because you will tap use template, sign in person, and then put their name and email up front, and they will receive an automatic copy. And the fields will be automatically highlighted on the document where they need to sign. This is different from regular in-person signing using a regular non-templatized document, because if you're using a document like this, they'll need to drag and drop the name, the date, and the signature fields. I hope that's clear. Are there any questions on in-person signing using an import or using a pre-made template? Okay, I'm seeing a question coming in which says, do you need to open each document or can it automatically scroll from one document to the next? The way that it works is when you tap on the document, you'll be able to see the preview of it. So from your list of signed documents, you can just select the one that you want and it will load the preview. But it won't automatically like stitch them together and let you scroll through all of them. You just need to tap on the one that you want to see and it will load the preview. It's a good question.
Monica, someone's wondering if we have any check mark options and how you would place that on your document.
Sure, I can show that. I'm just going to pull up the document again and tap sign in person. Yes, so we support a wide range of fields using our fields and annotations toolbar. Aside from signature, you also have initials, date, text. We also have an option which is called freestyle, which is a little bit interesting, where you just want to freestyle mark up the document. Maybe you need to circle something. You can actually do this and like place it where you need to circle some information. And then we also have checkboxes. We support 3 styles of checkboxes, a check mark, an X, and a radius button. So in case you want to, let's say, use a check, you can do that. I'm just going to place them here so you can see what they look like. The radius. And then we also support image upload. So if you were to tap on images, it'll allow you to select an image from your phone's library, and you can actually place an image directly on the document. We find that this is really handy, especially for deliveries. Perhaps you need to make a delivery at someone's home and you need to show proof that you've delivered it. You can perhaps have this document signed, and then you can also place the image of the delivery right on the document that you just took with your phone. So great questions. Cool. All right. So we're going to move on to the final workflow, which is going to be to request a signature. I think that most of the participants today, if you're used to using Signeasy on web, you're probably used to requesting a signature on web as well. But not a lot of people know that you can actually request a signature from your mobile device as well. Maybe you didn't have a chance to get back to the office, but you really need to get an onboarding document out or a contract out. You can actually send the request from your phone. And so I'm going to cover that now. So going back to our documents library, I'm not going to re-import a document at this point because you've seen already how we can import a document. And once we import a document, the document always lives in your Signeasy account. So I'm going to use an example where I need to request a signature from a document that I've previously used before. And I've actually made it into a template. And so this is going to be an NDA. Maybe I need to send this NDA. I send it pretty frequently, and so now I want to send it from my mobile device. I'm going to navigate to the template. You can also choose a regular document, a regular import, but in this case, I'm going to navigate to a template. I'm going to tap on Use Template. And instead of in person, we're going to go with the third workflow, which we support, and we're going to tap on Request Signature. Similar to requesting a signature on the web, you'll need to put in that signatory's email so that we can invite them to sign this document. So in this case, I'm going to pretend my client is an external party, and I'm going to just use a sample personal email of mine to invite my client to sign this NDA. And just like the web, you'll have an option to add any CC addresses here. Anybody that needs to receive a copy of the document, but they don't actually need to sign the document, then you can copy them here. And then you can actually insert any personalized message that you want them to see. So sometimes you can put something like, please sign by Friday, or any instructions that you need. This is really handy on the go. Again, if you don't have a lot of time, you can just send it from here. Once this looks good, then I'm going to hit send. At this point, it's going to start creating the request, and it's going to start to notify my client that I am actually requesting them to sign this document. So as you can see, this document has now entered pending status, and it says it's waiting for others. So with this banner at the top, I can see that it says waiting for so-and-so to sign. I'm just waiting. A couple of options while you're waiting for someone to sign a document. You can hit that reminder button at the bottom right corner, and it will issue them a fresh email reminding them to sign the document. Maybe it's been like a day or two and they haven't signed it, you just want to hit remind. Or maybe the terms of the contract have actually changed and this transaction is no longer needed. You can tap on void, and as you can see at the bottom, the void option, and it will void the transaction. Okay, so this is the requesting side, but I'm sure everybody here is super curious, what does it look like on the other side? What does it look like for my end client who's just receiving this to be signed? And so I'm going to demo that right now.
There was also a question that came in from someone. This is a great question. Does the recipient need to have a Signeasy account?
That's a great question. And I was going to show that on the other side, but the answer is no. No recipient needs to have a Signeasy account. We will never force any guest recipient or signatory to create an account with us. We'll never force them even to download the mobile app or anything. You'll quickly see that it's very seamless on their side of things. They can easily open and sign from wherever they are. I'm going to show that in a second. And then another question that I saw that we got was, can you request a signature from multiple people? That is a great question, and the answer to that is also yes. I can do this one more time with a document and maybe show you how that would work. But we support up to 15 signers on a single document that you can request to sign the document remotely. So let's say I click on that request signature option again. I can add as many signers as I need. And it will also pull them from my address book if I've authorized my address book. But you can add up to 15 signers on a single document. And if the order of the signers is important, you can toggle that option which says sign document in order. And this will ensure that Signeasy will only notify the signers in this particular order when it's their turn to sign the document. So this means that signer number 2 cannot sign unless signer number 1 has signed it, and so forth. So the person cannot sign it until the people before them have signed. And we will take care of routing this for you, and we will take care of notifying everybody in this sequence for you. That's a great question. Cool. So I'm going to move on, like I mentioned, to show the other perspective of your signatory once they've received this request from you. So I'm actually going to close this out. I've sent this to my personal email as an example, so I'll show you what that looks like. I'm going to go back to my other inbox. And one thing that I want to highlight here is that your recipient, your signer, they can be anywhere. They can be checking their email on their laptop. They can be checking their email at their work computer. They can be checking their email on their phone on the go. It doesn't matter. Wherever they're checking their email, they're going to get an email that looks kind of like this, which says the subject line will always be please sign and then the document name. And then they will see the details here. So we'll say so-and-so has requested you to sign this document. They'll see an icon with the name of the document. And then they'll see that custom message that I just placed when I sent the request, the please sign by Friday message. But otherwise, it's pretty straightforward. All they have to do is tap on that review and sign button, sorry, and they'll be able to complete it. One thing I want to also highlight here too is that the custom message that you place, the one which says please sign by Friday, that message can be anything that you want it to be, whether it's in another language, whether it contains instructions, links, it can be anything, and it supports any language. But if I'm receiving this, I just see, hey, so it looks like the partner I'm working with sent me a document. Let me just review and sign. So I'll tap on that. At this stage, as you can see on my device, Signeasy is navigating me to a URL in my browser, in Safari or Chrome on my mobile device. It didn't take me to the mobile app because your recipients don't need to have the mobile app. It just simply is using the browser on my device, and it supports the whole workflow through there. Again, as I mentioned, we also did not ask them to log in. We did not ask them to create an account or password. There's no walls at all. They'll just directly be taken to this consent screen. This consent screen is pretty typical. They just need to tap where it says, I agree to sign, and then they'll tap on continue. 99% of cases, they're just gonna tap on continue. In the off chance that maybe they don't wanna sign it, something has changed, they can tap on decline, and they'll be able to enter a message as to why they're declining, and you'll receive that notification on your side of things. But mostly everyone is just gonna tap on continue. So I'll do that now. When I tap on continue, a couple of interesting things are happening here. First is it's opening the Signeasy interface, and it gives your signer access to using Signeasy completely with no block. So this makes it really, really easy because the burden is not on them to figure out a way on how they're gonna print it and scan it and get it back to you. Just by clicking on that review and sign link, you're giving them a way to complete it instantly by using Signeasy. And so they're gonna review this document, they're gonna review this NDA, they're gonna say, hey, it looks good. And there's a status bar at the top, which lets them know how many fields are remaining for them to sign. In this case, there's 3 fields remaining for them. Just like any other form, they'll tap right in the spot where they need to sign. We give them a couple of options to sign. We give them a generated signature if they want to type their name. They also have the option to draw their signature using their finger, or they have the option to upload an image of their signature that they've drawn on a white sheet of paper. Most cases, if people are on their mobile device, they're okay with signing with their finger, which is what I'm going to do here. And I'm going to use that. Second is date field. It will auto-complete it. And then the last one is the title of this person. Let's say that it's just manager is their title. Once they've completed all of the fields, they can always just review it to make sure it looks good. They can even adjust it with a plus and minus sign to make the font bigger or smaller. They can go through the thumbnails to view all the information here. But otherwise, if it looks, oops, sorry. I'm readjusting this. Okay, otherwise, if it looks good and they've completed all the fields, again, that status bar at the top is gonna read all done, and they'll just easily be able to tap on finish. Cool, so it's just gonna complete this request, and Signeasy is now processing this and letting everybody know that this was completed. As you can see, I just got some push notifications to my Signeasy account on the mobile app, letting me know that it was completed. So you know instantly as soon as it happens, there's no delay time. You can go to your signed documents and scroll at the top to see the most recent one, and you can preview it here. And you'll see that this was successfully signed by your client. It looks great. And a couple of other things will be allowed. Either you can, again, send it by sharing it over email, or you can just simply go back into your email. I'm gonna load this back up. And if I go back into my email and I refresh it, all of the parties are gonna receive an instant confirmation email which says, document name has been signed by all parties and attached. It says now that it has been signed by all parties, and the PDF is automatically gonna be attached at the bottom of this email. You can tap on it here to preview it or look at it on your computer. And at the point where the transaction completes, we also attach a copy of that signature certificate, which is a digital audit trail that has all of the details about the entire request, as well as the IP address and the identity verification, and that encryption key that is created at the time of the request, which is what makes all of our signatures, legally binding and compliant. So it's really handy because everybody will receive this confirmation email and the PDF is automatically attached. So it's kind of like a secondary backup. You receive an email, and in case you accidentally deleted the email at some point or you lost the email, doesn't matter because it's also going to be stored in your Signeasy account where you can constantly reference in the future. And if you log into your Signeasy account on web, also you'll be able to see it right there. Okay, awesome. So that was kind of how it looks from the perspective of both sides end to end. I'm going to pause for some more questions. I am seeing quite a few questions coming in. So I will just go through them now.
Thank you so much for that, Monica. That was really clear and really helpful. So that concludes it for the demo of signing the iOS app. Just a reminder that Signeasy is available across multiple platforms. So we're accessible as an app, not only on your smartphone and tablet, but also on the web through our web app. As shown today, we support all the major workflows from self-signing to RS and in-person signing. And also all of your documents are going to be synced across all devices. So you don't have to worry about, logging into your computer later on and not seeing your documents there. It will be there. In terms of resources, we have a lot of resources for you to utilize whenever you need help or get stuck on something. So we have a chatbot that you can access from our website where you can type in the issue you're facing and our awesome support team can help you out. And we also have an extensive help center containing articles explaining step-by-step instructions on how to do something. And for those of you that are visual learners, we have 2 to 3 minute YouTube tutorials that you can watch to learn.
Awesome, everyone. Well, thank you so much for your time. Anything that you need, again, use our chat, send us an email, check out our help center, and keep a lookout for our next webinars coming up. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.